Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm late. I was having a problem with the fence. Oh no. Okay, hang on a minute. Let's fix this. I don't know why that. I don't want to use the playbook. Hang on a minute. Hmm. Oh my goodness. I don't know why this popped up on here. I don't want the boxes. I don't know why that's up there. Hang on. I'm sorry, people. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm already having technical difficulties, and I have zero idea why all of a sudden that showed up. Okay, I think I got it. Keep it up. It says, keep it up. I think I got it. Keep it up, and I'm not doing something right. I don't want to keep it up. All right, let me get my laptop up. I am sorry, everybody. I actually took a nap, and then I was up, and I couldn't get the fence for the chickens back together. And then I have one hen chasing around baby, my special needs bird. So it was kind of annoying. Okay. Let's see what we got. That's that bright light. Let's see how that does. No. It's me. I've been off all week. I've been like tired. So I was actually thinking, I wonder if I need to switch our time to 7. Because I'm not getting into bed till 11, then I have to wake up at 5. I don't think I'm getting enough sleep, is what I think it is. But welcome. Hello, enough about me. How are you? How's everybody's day? All right, let's go up a little bit. Camera, I just have to make sure that I am paying attention for puzzle pieces. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Why does everything look crooked? Hello, everybody. Yeah, it stormed here. I'm gonna actually do a love stone, but I prepared just like 15 minutes ago a 6-inch round because I have a feeling we're really gonna love this palette. Yeah, I feel like it's been like that pretty much everywhere with these pop-up storms. We need the rain, though. So, hello, everybody. Hi, Simply Me. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm Victoria. I am a nurse and a nurse practitioner student. Some of you already know that. And I paint mandala style dot art for my sanity. It's very therapeutic. At least it is to me, as long as you don't let it get to you. Like, there is a high probability you're going to get frustrated over something when you're learning anything. But I try to show you in this class how you can just let it go. So we're actually shooting for peacock colors. I think we did pretty good, but yes. Oh, how can I message him without messing everything up? Probably can't. Well, he knows I'm live, so. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why there's like this weird angle when everything on my table is lined up. So is it this? Has to go that way? See, those are the little things that drive me crazy. No. It's got to go this way. Those little things drive me crazy. Okay. That's straight. That's weird. Okay. All right. So I'm going to try and do something a little different with the lighting. We'll see how it works. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I get a little over the that glare when I'm trying to paint. So I feel like this might have a glare for you, but for me, I'm not seeing one right now. I mean, a little bit on here, but you can always, we'll see how that works. No, stop. Okay, so the colors are going to be ultramarine blue, Jessica's got all the questions today because she's not working. But anyways, I'm Victoria, so I do teach beginner tips and tricks. I'm not the know-all, tell-all or anything like that, so don't get me wrong. I enjoy what I do, and I just try and it allows me to paint a couple hours a day, and just share stuff. You'll outgrow me. Once you guys, I always say that, you'll outgrow me. There's way, way better mandala artist than me. That was bluegrass green. No, I'm just giving it to you, Jessica. You don't have to ever apologize. You know, no, you are totally fine. You know that. But yeah, I'm still waking up from a nap. So bluegrass green, and I'm kind of separating them out so that I don't accidentally dip, this meaning this one. So I'm going to put the purple in there. Purple pizzazz. Purple pizzazz. And you guys can ask any questions at any time. I'm just teasing Jessica. Promise. And then this one is peacock teal. One of my favorite blues or teals or whatever you want to. All right, so I have a feeling there is a chunk of paint somewhere. I just don't want it to. There it is. You know how if you squirt too hard, what happens? Because I've done it live. All right, we're going to leave that alone. Okay, and then we're going to use an accent of glorious gold. And then maybe, we hadn't decided, I'm going to put it in the paint pot anyways which was ice blue. And it's a metallic as well. Okay, so while I do that, so let me say a few things. So as a beginner, you don't need these, okay? Do I use them? Yes, because often it's a couple of nights that we paint the same palette. And sometimes I do custom mix them. But as a beginner, you simply need a paint palette, okay? If you get into it and you want to mix paints and keep palettes and stuff like that, I highly encourage you to get the paint pots. These hold 15 mLs of paint, so half an ounce. This is the size I prefer. And when you do get them, if you do get them, pay very close attention to the description. They're not written well. You want one that says that it's 15 mLs per pot, not 15 mLs for the strip. They'll do that too. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the follow. It depends. I use the same thing I use to clear coat the projects, because I have it, and you just squirt enough in there so that you coat it, and then you let the excess drip out. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to be able to do my guide marks on this just yet, because I painted it not too long ago. Unfortunately, I did something I say not to do. So if you don't let the base coat fully dry, and then you go to do your guide marks, sometimes they won't come off very well. So definitely make sure you wait. So, okay, let me put this over here. And then the base coat I use, especially if it's black. If it's not black and it's an off color, it's just regular acrylic paint, which are these, which I showed. But this is the brand I use for the base coat. Not this brand. I don't know why their multi-surface paint does not work the same as this one. I don't know why. It's kind of weird to me. Hi, BT. How are you, Judy? Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the heart me, BT. Okay, so that's that. Let me take a drink of water. Yeah, like I said, I fell asleep during the storm. And I'm still trying to reacclimate. Heather, thank you for sharing the live. Okay, so I do have one of my heart-shaped rocks. I call them love stones. This is actually a pretty cool one. It's flat on this side, but I chose to paint the domed. It's domed, so that should be fun. And then I did go ahead and paint a 6-inch round, and I'll go over that a little bit more. Hi, Renee. Thank you for the follow. I napped. Oh, I don't nap, but all week I have been exhausted. But again, I'm not so sure that it's not like self-induced. Like, I mean, I get up at 5 for work this week, which I don't normally work so many days in a row. This just happens to be the week where I have one patient 5 days. And she likes me there at 8:30. All my other clients are cool with like 10. So, oh, okay. Well, oh my God, Jessica, I've done those things too. Oh, Judy, that's hilarious. Hey, that's good though. You got some friends. Let's just show up. Sounds good to me. Jessica, I remember those days, girl. I remember those days. Well, hopefully this will settle you in and you'll be able to sleep really, really well. You don't work tomorrow then, I take it. Do I varnish after I dot on the paper? No. Aurora Sky, dots came off after I file them? On the paper? I want to make sure I'm understanding. No, mine. No. Hi, Paula. How are you? Welcome. All right. I'm going to pay attention to the chat, see if I can answer her question. Hey, Mason. How are you? I'm a little late to the party tonight, but thank you all for being here. Sorry about the delay if you were waiting on me. Okay, so I did find on TikTok it's a set of dotting tools, okay, a set of acrylic rods, okay, and a set of the stencils that we use, which I just had, it's a set of, I think it's 3 or 4 stencils, and it's advertised looking exactly like this. So if you're looking for a beginner set of tools and stencils, that is in my showcase. And again, relatively inexpensive. I had to take a nap today, Mason. On the paper. What kind of paint are you using? What brand of paint? On the paper, though, she says, I don't varnish over the paper, do you? Okay, so, but what brand? And then I'm going to ask you, what weight is that paper? Because I don't know. I am perplexed by that. Mine, I mean, I've had this book and I've gone, and you see, like I flipped the pages and no, I've not had that happen. So I don't have an answer for you. I wonder if the paper has some sort of coating on it or something. You do? Okay. So I guess Judy does have an answer for you. If that's a situation, then yeah, I guess you're going to have to seal them too. I'm sorry. Mine, again, I don't. I do not. If I had to do that, that would kind of be maybe annoying to me because I want to, when I'm done, I want to be done. And in the book, I don't feel like I need to. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for the heart me. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch in the book. This paper that I have is 110-pound paper. I don't know if there's something special about this particular book that makes it so I don't have to seal it, but it is 110 pound. If you get anything lighter, your paper may warp and bubble. And it's not that you can't use it. I'm just letting you know you may not be able to use both sides of the paper. So I usually take and I swatch. I think this aquamarine is going to be too dark. It is going to dry. I remember this color now. So I remember that color. We're going to have to do something to that color so that it stays bright. I will, yep. Yes, I will show you. I have that in mind too. So you're going to use that instead? We might have to. Yeah, I already went through the colors, Joanne, so just let me swatch it and then I'll catch back up. Oh, you use spray? Okay. That would be easier than painting it, I think, with the varnish, the liquid varnish. I think spray painting would make sense. Thank you, Judy. I'm glad that you know what she's talking about, because I would not have. All right, so then we've got the gold. Oh, like a little bit more than that. Glorious gold. And then the ice blue. That's a pretty color. Yeah, maybe we will nix. Maybe if I put a drop of black in it, it might be too black. Maybe if I no, gray would make it. Okay, here are the colors. So the ultramarine blue is the one I'm trying to figure out what to do with. I remember using it and it dries like almost black. Okay, and then we have bluegrass green. And then we have purple pizzazz, peacock teal. And then we used the glorious gold and ice blue. Thank you for the follow, Jennifer. You're going to have fun. Just remember, you just got to use an open mind. Yes, Paula, they are pretty colors. We're going for a peacock theme. Oh, no. Oh, no. That would explain the situation. That would explain it. Okay. Yeah, I am definitely like a little off today. I wonder if it's the solar eclipse. Okay. We got that. We are all set with that. So when I paint the love stones, I do not use a stencil or anything. Not that you can't, but I don't, because I just kind of like to Thank you for the TikToks. The way I paint them is pretty forgiving, so I don't really feel like we need to. And that's why it's kind of a really nice beginner project, because you, this is just a folded up scrap. Thank you, Judy. All right, Tasha. See, it's time to go live so you can do stuff like that live. Oh my God. Clean up your mess, sister. Thank you for the Go Pops. Judy, you are, thank you. Thank you, Mason. I enjoy them. But yeah, so I started the whole, dotting for beginners, with stones. For one reason is because they're irregular. You are not subject to, like, I mean, this one is very loosely heart-shaped. This side is pretty rough, but when you flip it over, you can imagine, a different looking heart. It's not perfect. Here's another one that I chose to kind of paint the heart offset, and we did an offset center dot. So they're really nice to paint on. And you don't have to use heart-shaped ones. You can just use a regular rock and still paint the way we do. So, okay. I think I'm going to come down a little lower so you guys can see a little better, because we have... So, put that away. We don't use that size. That's too big. So we are going to start with I also, again, in this live, you do not need any tools. Okay? You can use a Q-tip, a toothpick, the end of a paintbrush, anything that's going to make a dot of paint. Does it make it easier to follow along if you're painting with someone? Absolutely. Does it make it easier if you're going to try and mimic a design? Sure. So that being said, if you have, I have an astigmatism, and someone recommended this set of tools by this company. Because they're white, you can see your dot placement, and actually, let's just show you. Okay, but because it's solid and opaque as opposed to, so look, okay, it's hard to see that, okay, this you see, okay, company puts out very good quality stuff. I highly recommend them. Am I saying you need to go out and buy these right away? Absolutely not. But do they make things easier when you have an astigmatism? Absolutely. So I start my center dot on these stones about middle of the middle. Just kind of depends. And then let's just start with this peacock teal, since this whole project. Now the same thing, I want a good amount of paint on there, okay? And I do the best I can with the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. That is what I mean by doing it on stone. Just have fun with it. This should be more of a practice about getting your dots consistently placed, just taking the time to just relax. Those probably need to be cleaned. Hi, Just Me. Thank you for the follow. Yes. If you're not painting, tap, tap, tap. Yes. We like new friends here. Thank you. Okay. And yes, if you have any questions, surely somebody is going to get them answered for you. Okay, now this is another thing. You don't have to do what I do. Okay? You have freedom to do whatever you want on whatever you paint. What should we do with that blue? I don't want to add white to it. What if I add a little gray? Is that going to really, like, make it not pretty blue anymore? Probably, huh? Bummer. What do you guys think? A drop of black in it? That would make it darker. I'm going to put some of this zinc in there. I just want to lighten it up a little bit. I don't know. We do a lot of questionable things here. Things I've never done before. So I do the experimenting so you don't have to. Just don't give me a chemistry set because I have no promise. Yeah, see, it made it a little too... But maybe it'll show up better. So this is what I mean by using the 15 ml cups or paint pots, because you can really get in there and mix it without it coming over the edge. Maybe it'll be all right. This is not that pretty blue that we started with. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. How about we try it though? I'll try it. Yeah, but it won't shine. It won't show up on the black, unfortunately. We'll add a little metallic to it too. Yeah, that's the only problem with some of the darker colors, sis, is that, I could have added a light blue to it, but I was worried about the white, because there's a lot of white in the lighter colors, and I didn't want it to change. Oh, that's actually really pretty. Let's see. I don't know if the metallic will show up in it, but yeah, so I tried adding that. So we'll try the metallic. Thank you for the rose, BT. I did too. But the problem is it often will not, and I can show you the book here because it probably started to dry. I think that's good. I think that it's still pretty blue. We'll see. So look, see how, well, it's still not really dry. Right now it looks good, but it's still wet. But we used it on this rock. And you can't even see the blue. And it is a pretty blue. It's just not going to show up on a black. Yeah, so we're going to try it and see what happens. And I'm going to actually start with the small, large end of the white tool. And then once the 6-inch round, see, it's still really dark, guys. But maybe it'll dry. We'll see. What's it going to hurt? This is what I mean by, like, doing different things and just trying different things. The goal, though, is that your dots are about the same size, same distance apart. And as you go around, if your dots start to get bigger, you need to pause, wipe off your tool. I must say that like 20 times alive. If you're painting along and your dots aren't doing what you want them to do, pause and wipe off your tool. Okay. I will say that metallic, adding that, made that really thin. Now, this stone is very bumpy. Like, it is really, really bumpy. So I do anticipate issues with, like, paint running and stuff like that. But, again, when I'm painting on the rocks, it is a no stress. I'm not making a design. I'm not thinking of what pattern would fit anywhere. This is very enjoyable. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I like it. I'm just hoping it stays or dries into a color that is useful. So when I do these, I basically just pick a color. I may go exactly through, I may not. I just pick a dotting tool. There's no rhyme or reason to anything I do. I do go up in size with the tools to get a dimensional look. I'm going to try the size. I'm in the bluegrass green. So I'm going to try and do just going in between. Now I do have to go slow and kind of think about it because the stone is rounded. So you may see me holding the stone like this for a second, just so that the paint kind of stays where I want it. I wonder if it's because it's so humid outside that the paint it's really thin tonight. Did anybody else? I know BG said she got a storm, but anybody else have any of that weather coming through? I know there's some people experiencing some serious flooding, so I'll take a thunderstorm. Ava, thank you for the follow. Also, if you are new here, you probably don't know, it is this paint. So it has a satin finish and it's multi-surface. So it does give it a little extra stick. Oh no. Oh, Judy, you got lucky. I hope everybody is okay though. You got rain. Yeah, we had a really bad thunderstorm come through. Oh, what I was saying is that if you're new here, there's any questions you have, there's a bot that you don't want to ask in the chat. There is a orange box, white arrow, bottom left-hand corner. Two of the most commonly asked questions is like, can I get a supply list? I do have a supply list. Doesn't mean you have to get anything from there, but it's a helpful reference. I do think everything is on there. It's weird because everything is on there and then I go on it and then something's missing from it. So I don't know why that's happening. I don't know if the item goes out of stock or whatever, but your reply didn't show up. I don't know. Maybe we're glitchy because it's, hi Kelly, thank you for the follow. And if you want to practice, and I have been uploading the full live without editing any edits. And I can give you access to that. It's probably easiest if you do want to see those, to ask me for that in that orange box so that I can get you in the right direction for that. So that's what we got so far. Okay, and then we'll go with the purple. And now, oh, you know what? I did find my, that dotting rod I was missing, right? It was with my paintbrushes. So I think this might be too small, but I've got the smallest clear rod. Yeah, I'm going to go up to the medium size one. Okay. Just a little bigger. And now, instead of doing every other, I'm literally just going to go around in a circle. Just give it a different look. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, ask them in the chat. Or, like I said, you can message me through that orange box. If I don't get back to you by tomorrow, I either missed it. I try to do it right away after the live, but I am not promising that tonight. Like I said, I took a nap. I don't feel sick, but I don't feel right, if that makes sense. I'm still having this weird congestion, but don't feel like it's sinuses. I don't know. So sometimes you have to tap the tool to get paint off. Depends on how much paint you want there. Now, when we get to these sections where you got to be like, oh, how much can I get? How many dots can I get in there? Sometimes I will do 1, 2. Okay, and it's okay if one of them's a little smaller than the other one. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, okay, just making sure I didn't miss anything else. Okay. Okay, who is painting along with me tonight? Hi, Jordan. Actually, Jordan, this is something I really, really enjoy. I appreciate that. Joanna, okay, cool. What are you painting on? Well, Tasha, I think you're still cleaning up a mess, or did you get that taken care of? That's a good idea, Jordan. And it's funny that you said that. I have a couple of things in my head that I'm going to work on for the ladies at Bear Camp in May. And that is something, if this idea works out, I'm going to come in with something. Yeah, I'm not that talented. Oh, cool, cool. All right, Aurora, cool. Yeah. I've painted something similar. I would say the inspiration was trout on a deer skull, but it was more of just a kind of like, oh, this looks good. But that was kind of the inspiration, I guess I could say. All right, let me, I'm going to put this aside, And let's mark up our 6-inch round. So we got our 6-inch round. And again, I feel like that kit here on TikTok has these exact same stencils. So you're going to if you get that, you'll have 2 different ones. This has less guide marks on it. It's perfectly fine to use, but having more guide marks, in my opinion, helps, especially beginners. We, at this when we first started going, we were very blessed and spoiled. Now it really has become bear camp. And what I mean by that is there is really no, she was making a, what do you call it? A bathhouse. But last year, I had to shower with, and I'm probably shouting in your ears, I had to shower with this, and it actually is pretty cool. Maybe you guys have, if you camp or whatever, used one. It's this submersible pump, and you put it in a bucket of water. And it runs on batteries, or you recharge it or whatever. And yeah, you take a shower that way. And we had an outhouse. Not an outhouse. Porta potty. So it was really different. Hello, how are you? The first 2 years, I don't remember now. This will be my 6th year going. She had us at a lodge. Girl, we all had our own bedrooms, our own bath. Well, not all. We shared. It was like 2 people in a room. And then we had our own deck out back. We had a little rocking chair in there. Oh my God, we were Wi-Fi. Of course, running water was not something I ever thought I would. So it's different. Now it is really bear camp. We were spoiled. So this is a chalk pencil. You don't have to use a chalk pencil. I know some people use soapstone, watercolor pencils. Whatever it is you use, you need it to be able to come off easily. Like I use a plastic eraser to get mine off. I used to use baby wipes, but for some reason, the fibers would get on my wood. So the solution was to lightly sand them, and I'm like, that's too much work. I don't want to do that. Or use the plastic eraser, and I have not looked back since. So anyways, yeah, so I don't think my friend is in here. Might have to do that too. No. I don't think my friend is in here. Sometimes she pops in, but my friend Lisa, I'm just making sure she's not here. It's kind of a surprise. I ordered 8-inch wood, like a wood cutout of a bear. And, I mean, you'll all see them because I'll be painting them. And I figured it would be kind of cool to do their favorite colors and, do a mandala on them. So I've never done that before. So, this is the land of where somebody showing you how to do something has never done it before. Okay. Now we're going to start a round. I'm just curious too what this, I know we used it on something before, but I don't know what it dries like. How do you say your name? Nari Heart? Nari Heart. Okay. So I'm going to use the ice blue for our center dot. And you'll see it is very, even though you have the paint on there, I don't know why, but using those white dotting tools makes my life so much easier. When you're doing only a couple, it's not really a big deal, but when you're doing a whole bunch and you're doing a big piece, it makes a difference. Okay, and in this case, I am going to actually start with the smaller dot to go around. I'm going to use the small end of the yellow. Those of you that are painting along, am I screwing you up by starting a second project? Or are you just painting and you're just doing your thing? Or do I need to give you a minute to get a 6-inch round ready? I used the pink. I don't know. Now AI says I'm painting a trout pattern. AI is never going to take over as well as humans. I am not. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I think I said I was going to do a 4-inch, so I lied. Do you need to go outside? You don't ever come out. You want to go outside? No? Okay. Don't be a weirdo. No, it is not weirdo time. Go somewhere else. That was random. She all of a sudden just came out of her hiding spot. She's been in the bathroom for hours. Okay, so I'm using the small end of the yellow, and I'm going and using the purple. No? There we go. You're welcome. The other thing these wood rounds you can find on the Jungle or I don't but they're inexpensive and the quality is not, I mean, I've had worse, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because with the smaller dots, sometimes they end up in the actual wood grain and they actually kind of look oval. So I don't want you to, it doesn't happen on every one and it will only happen in like one section. You could paint an extra layer of the base coat to maybe, minimize that. I just go with it. It's really only these smaller ones that it does it to. So we are painting with a peacock palette, peacock color palette. Yeah, see how they're kind of oblong shaped? It's fine. Now, I would not recommend, like if you're going to do like the size for a friend or something, I would definitely invest in a better quality, maybe up to like a 1/2 inch. My preferred is like, if I'm going to do it for like something special, I prefer the 1/2 inch. But if I'm just going to get a large round and it's more of a practice piece, I'll do the 1/4 inch. All right, again, I'm going to pause, okay, because I got to see how many I can get in there. I feel like it's going to be just 2. Yeah. But you want to kind of give yourself a second when you start to close it up because you don't want to get overzealous. Oh, it's a code for Zon. Unfortunately, there's certain words on this platform that I cannot say, and yep. And that's, if that helps, hopefully. I'm just grabbing a bottle of water. My other one was warm. Mm-hmm. That's another, yeah. That's another good one. You can look for these rounds here on this platform, on TikTok. It's just, I know, we had a talk in code. It's so silly, but I have heard other people say things and I'm like, I'm gasping, live, kind of like Joe does, which she has not been here. Is anybody friends with Joe and know if she's good? Or I just realized, like, we have not seen or heard from her. And she was a regular for a while. But yeah, I'm like, but I don't know. I don't know who gets in trouble and why. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the peacock teal now. And again, I'm not going to do any fancy spacing. I'm just going to go around. And when I paint live, I have 0 plans. Do I do a lot of things very similar every time? Absolutely. But I have no plans. Like, I don't have a design. I'm thinking of one now. But I don't, as a rule, have something pre-planned or anything like that. Many of us do have that on the, what do you want to call it? Not on the cusp, but like that spontaneous thinking. Like, once you start to see the colors together, you're like, oh yeah, now I know what I'm going to do. Oh, large end of the white. Oh, on the fly. Yes. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, Sheila, because I fly fish, so I should have on the fly. So those of you that are painting along, those of you that are thinking about getting tools, I want you to know that we have discovered, Jessica did, that even though the tools may look very similar, they're not the same size dotting tools that we all have. So, hang on, I got to pause, remember? Try that. I did order a set from Demi of hers. They're marked with sizes on them. And I think what I'm going to do is take those, measure mine up. Because mine probably did come with a piece of paper that said what size they were. That was 3 or 4 years ago. I don't have that anymore. So once I get that set of tools, I will know, and I will come up with some sort of marking system. And unless you kept what yours are marked at. I don't know how we're going to help each other. Because they are not, they're not universal. Unfortunately, I did not know that. Jessica made that discovery. So I did, remember when I was telling you guys, I thought that my mirrors came with triangles? It didn't. It came with rounds and squares, and they're huge. They're literally huge. But I like working with the diamond one anyways. So let's get a diamond out. Okay. Now I'm going to, I know not everybody has these, but I'm going to try something. So you can freehand these with a paintbrush, but I wanted to see. So I don't really want to use the mirror. That's not my goal, but my goal was to use it to trace. But I need to come out a little bit more for this design pattern. So we're going to come out probably, it might even end up being in tomorrow's live. All right, let's do one more row, and let's do the blue that we mixed up special. You could. It does. Yes. It actually, as a matter of fact, this is kind of warped, so it's kind of doing that way. But yes, it does, and it gives it a little bit of a dimension. So again, these, because they're inexpensive, can you see that? Like, it's warped there in the middle. And Tasha will make me try and top dot that, and I tell her no every time because I know what's going to happen. It's going to be wonky. All right. So let's see. Let me see if I can. No, okay, I want to go a little bit smaller than that. All right, so when you want to get rid of a dot, you need a Q-tip, wet it, and then roll towards you slowly, trying not to obviously hit your wet dots. All right, so I'm going to go down to the large end of the blue. And then I'm going to try and go in between these. Kind of like we did on the rock. So I'm going to end up having a little space there. We'll do some micro dots in there. And then these were a little tight, so I'm just making these a little smaller. And then I can go back to Do you ever see that live where the person writes somebody's name And then they put, it looks like water on it to like magnify it. I don't know why, but today my paint feels like it's so thin that that's what it's doing. It's kind of weird. So like I said, I'm just going around, make these a little bigger. There we go. They were kind of getting oblong there. There we go. My Splendid Gold isn't so splendid. Oh no. Oh no. Try shaking it up a little bit more. I don't have a fix for that except adding a medium. Is it the same brand of paint I use? I feel like it, I feel like what happens is like there's no rotation of paint. So when you go to buy them, like it could have been there for, who knows how long. Oh, this one here is a little wonky. Hang on. Where's the other one? There was another one that was still looked a little. Here it is. And this one. They just were a little oblong from getting in that. And then I got these two, which I figured was going to happen. They ran together, but I'm not worried about it. The gold, though, is kind of obvious. I don't, Chris. I don't. You can, but as a rule, the brand of paint that we all try to use is pretty consistent. The only problem is, though, if it's been on the shelf for a while, like I'm having issues with some of mine only because I've had them like almost 4 years. So there you have some separation, you have some, there's water in there. So sometimes the water will evaporate. So depending on how old your paint is, it could give you issues. So, when you're learning this though, make sure whatever paint brand you use, you should just use that brand until you're better. You've got some of your technique down and some of your muscle memory, because if you use like this brand and this brand, they're all going to be slightly different. But there are some people that specifically use a paint that they put medium in. I don't, as a rule. I modify how I'm painting with it. All right, let me put this down and get the rock. So see how dark that blue, darn it, I really like that blue. It just dries so dark. Okay, so we'll do some micro dots. I think I'm going to throw in the gold now. With micro dots, they're literally micro dots. So I'm using the small end of the pink one for this. So you basically a dot and a dot. How's everybody doing out there? Is everybody good? If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. We'll be glad to answer them. Now, again, if you get around here and your dots start to get bigger than micro dots, wipe that tool off. Like, I probably should pause and wipe it off, but there we go. Oh, I love the gold in there. Wow, that really miserable. And well, that's kind of what I'm thinking is going on here. I usually turn the AC off because our place is so small. When it's on, I literally can't even hear myself think. It's so loud. So it's hot, humid. That might be part of it for tonight. But yeah, that one color reminded me of like a little bleb. Okay. Now I'm going to go up a size, and I go up till I feel like it, but till about right in here in size, and then I start to go back down in size. It's kind of hard for me to judge because this rock it's domed. So I am going to make our next row with glorious gold. And I'm just going to pick a spot. And I'm going to hold it because there we go. You know I was. You know it. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. So if you don't get enough paint on these rods and you push down, you see what happens. And that's probably not going to be a perfect example because it did kind of dome up. But if you don't have enough paint on there, I'm going to see if I can do it. And you push down, they don't dry right. So if you get a dot and it just doesn't look right, you can get a little more paint and hover over it and tap it. Oh, there must be like that. Yeah, see, there's a little ridge right there on that area. Vintaholic. Vintaholic, I like that name. Does that mean you're into vintage stuff? Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome. If you're new here, say hi in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. All right. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure I can get 2 in there, but we're just going to go 1, 2, and then make them a little bigger. There we go. Ooh, pretty. Thank you for the follow. South Texas. All right. Hi, Virginia. How are you? It's probably hot your way. Probably don't even need to ask that. I have a friend that lives, she's actually coming on the trip. She is not in Brownsville, but like down that way. She is down there. Oh no. Well, you can still watch the uploads, downloads. Bummer. Bummer. And I go back to clinical soon, so I mean, I might have to adjust my life too. Oh. What, do you bowl every day? Oh, no, it's because you bowl probably on your night off. Oh, well, that's what I always, Virginia, worry about that here when we storm because I lose power pretty easy. Okay. Oh, man. You need a different job. You need to become a professional mandala artist, and then you won't have to go to work no more. Hi, Olivia. How are you? Tammy, welcome. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. All right, so we'll go up one more size. Yeah, we got to go up one more size. Let's use the peacock teal. Yeah, no. I spent too much money on my student loans to give up nursing, so. Did I already use that one? This seems awful big. That seems awful big. Hang on. I don't usually get to the blue size on here, so hang on a minute. I think I need to use the purple. Yeah, because that is way too big. And this is really thin, so let's see if we can just... All right. Yeah, this is what I want. There we go. Like, that one is way too big. Judy, weren't you also in a league too? So usually the last row, the big row of dots, lines up pretty much with the end of here. So that's kind of what my goal is. So that it just kind of lines up. It doesn't have to, doesn't always, but bowling. Weren't you the one in a bowling league? Who was the one in a bowling league? Other than Jessica. I feel like somebody else is in a bowling league or was. Because we were talking about how horrible I am. And if I break 100, it's a good day. And remember I was talking about how when I was a kid I would watch Bowling for Dollars? And then I'm a horrible bowler. Cyber, okay. 20, yeah. I mean, I love it. I love it. I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at it. I mean, I have fun. Again, I don't know if it has anything to do with that I broke my right wrist when I was a kid. And maybe it just was never... I feel like This is so thin. Oh, hang on. There we go. I don't know if that, because it was my right wrist, so I don't know if that has any bearing on, how I throw the ball. I didn't have a problem playing sports like softball. I mean, I played softball. I didn't really play sports. Softball was the only sport I played. I don't really have a problem there. Maybe that's probably why my shoulders are shot now. I gotta get another paper towel and make it a mess. But yeah, that's what it was you were saying about the cyber bowling. Pretty colors. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh yeah? I love softball. My girls played and they did cheer, but yeah, and then, like I said, the Little League team at our park, the boys' Little League team, I don't know what it is about. I guess because in Florida we can practice all year round. Like, we don't need an indoor or anything, even though we do have indoor, like, batting things and stuff like that. But, yeah, I told you my son-in-law played professional ball for the Astros. And, well, I shouldn't say that. He played professional baseball for the Cleveland Indians first for many, many years. And then he got picked up by the Astros. And then he retired. I guess it'd be second year now. Now he's just home driving my daughter crazy. Because not that, having children to drive you crazy. But yes, right? Pretty. Okay, we need to, I'm just not sure if this is going to show up, but I'm going to give it I don't normally top dot anything till I know. Yeah, see, that's still wet. I just don't think it's going to show up, the metallic. Tasha, is the metallic showing up? Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Pitching is tough. Pitching is tough. Like I said, my son-in-law lets the boys pitch, but only a short amount of time, because it can really screw up their growth plates. So, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I was a catcher. That was my spot. That's why I'm like, maybe that's why my shoulder is shot. I mean, I never had any injuries, but you catch and you throw and you catch and you throw. So let's see. I'm going to use the small end of the yellow. I want to see if this metallic shows up. I'm not really sure where I want to put it, though. We'll put it here in between the purple. See if it shines. Yeah, and then his dad played for the Toronto Blue Jays when in his heyday, and ended up coaching, being a batting coach for many years. So now that's what he does back home. They have a batting, like an indoor batting thing, whatever. And Yeah, they're very involved in youth sports. My granddaughter, you know, it's funny because my son-in-law said to me one day, he's like, you know, she's writing her college scholarship or her college fund. I died. I'm like, yeah, those horses are not cheap. What do you call them? Jumpers and something. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, that she's writing her college tuition. Well, and she's really good. She's a natural. She's really good. And my daughter actually picked it up too, which is kind of interesting because that girl had never ridden a horse a day in her life. But now she does some jumping too. No barrels. Okay, so see what I was saying about that, because it's domed. So if you're a beginner, don't get a domed rock like I did, because it's not dripping, but because that blue was thin, it's actually kind of hanging. Just kind of giving it a little gravity. It's not a big deal. But I just thought this rock was so unique, being flat on one side and domed on the other. I thought it was so cool. Alrighty, now we're going to go down in size. So we'll go down to of the 3 clear rods, the larger rod. What time is it? Oh, 9:37? Oh, wow. Hang on, just letting it. Like I said, usually it doesn't drip down, but let's do. Let's do the purple. Let's do the purple. And I'm going to probably kind of go slower. So that, because this is really rounded, right? This is like almost straight down. So I'm just going to. Just go around, take our time. Oh, because you like it so much, or because how big is the rock you're painting on, Tasha? More flat, yeah. Cool, cool. I'm glad that you are happy with it. And just remember, you got to let it cure. I would let it cure for at least 2 weeks before you top coat it. And then I would let the top coat cure again. Make sure whatever you're using is indoor, outdoor, which the one I show you guys is. Pretty, pretty colors. Okay. Now, normally I would keep going around in a circle, right? But the problem is because I don't want an issue down here, so I'm actually going to come from down here and go up, which is a little awkward. Judy, the ones that you make, when you make the stones, those can't go outside, can they? Is she still here? Yeah, okay. They can't go out in the elements, right? I feel like she thrives solo. Hi, thank you for the share. Appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. But liking and sharing the live gets us new friends. We like new friends. It's always interesting. Like, I know when I'm usually live, will pop up on my FYP. And I'm like, why are you sending me this one? This is like nothing what I would normally do. Oh, okay. Okay. I always thought like the one that I have, they feel like they're like almost like plaster of Paris. Like they don't appear to be, but I don't know. Maybe people use different things. Is I guess what I should be saying. All right. Okay, hang on a minute. Don't you run away. Come on. So I'm just going to rotate this for a second. These were running. Hi, thank you for the wink winks. Okay, perfect. Okay, so cement all outside and sealed. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. Yeah, let me just try and let a little gravity work. I think that's good. All right, let me see. So if you top dot too soon, those are still wet. If you top dots too soon, you end up risking getting cracks. So I do not recommend top dotting until you know for sure that this is dry. Oh, let me hold it up. I feel like it's a little... Woo! Pretty. All right. So then let's do even though I just did purple dots, I think I'm actually going to do purple micro dots in this teal, the peacock teal in here. Small end of the yellow. And find a place for your finger. Oh, I need more paint. Because we want it to be colorful. Like this is meant to be flamboyant. It is not meant to be subdued or anything like that. It's supposed to be colorful and all of those things. So we are supposed to be using color in it. Victoria. We all know how I question color choices and stuff like that. And then sometimes I just have to do it. Does anybody have any fun plans for the weekend? Did well, I guess this is another question. Cece hasn't been here. I'm just assuming school's back and she is busy or she's working on her lesson plans. I have not seen Cece either. I think I saw she posted though, so she's okay. That's how I'll know if you guys are okay. I'll see your stuff. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We will work with the same color palette tomorrow, and then which is a peacock themed palette, and we'll finish working on a 6-inch round. I am usually live Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Till 10:30-ish, depends on what we're doing. Unless I don't have power, then, there's that. All right, I am actually going to use the blue again because I feel like we need to. And then we'll figure it out from there. So same thing. I'm just going to pick a spot and go around. And if it ends up like falling off the black, I'll show you what I do. Most of the time I don't care. Oh, this is super thin. Hang on, yep, this is really, really thin. So part of that is probably because I added that metallic. So I might have to just go really light-handed. And so like in this case, it's going to fall off the black. That's fine. I don't really worry about that, but I'll show you how I finish the edges and stuff like that if it doesn't line up. Almost feel like I need to get the hairdryer out. Oh, you know what I could do? Let me turn the fan on. It only needs like a second. That's what we'll do. I have the fan on now. I do, but it's going the wrong way. I have the fan on, but it's not where it belongs. Okay, we're back. So just going to carefully hold it. The only thing about forcing paint to dry too is you risk it also cracking if it's too thick. So if it's thinner, you can use a hair dryer, low heat. Acrylic dries really, really fast. It just so happens that this is a small piece, it's rounded, so it has some challenges with it. Just putting it in front of it for a second there. Okay, so when I get to these edges, is that shadowed? Maybe not so bad. Okay. I'm going to leave that space and then match it up over here as well. And I'll show you how I finish that when I finish up this side. So just, again, just kind of going a little lighter handed than I normally would. Oh, those are getting far apart. Hang on. All right, we'll go with that. Again, I don't go for perfection on these. I just really paint them because I think they come out so nice and pretty. And again, just going, oh, too much. Going around. And it kind of came off the edge. It's fine. Now, this is the sketchy part. I'm going to, hang on, let me get it in front of the fan for a second. It's not touching it as you're going around. So normally when I do these, you know how we start small and then get to a certain size and then, you know, we end small. I didn't want to do that this time because, again, it's supposed to be really bright and peacock and, you know, all of those things. So those dots on this side got way bigger than the other side. Let me put this in the fan here a sec. Hang on. All right, so up here, I'm just going to take a smaller tool like the large end of the blue. If you're not using a heart shape, you probably won't have this come up, but I just do walking dots to fill in that little section there. And this paint is super thin. And just a couple on that side. You could do the same thing with the purple there, but I'm not going to worry about that. You really can't see that because it's domed. But see how quick that paint is drying now that I have the fan on? It's crazy. Okay. I'm going to let that dry for a little bit before I finish the edges because I don't really have any room for my fingers. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so let's see. I don't think these are dry. Yeah, those are not dry at all. Okay, so we will use, I'm going to go with the green and we're going to start doing our inner circle like pattern. So let's do the purple and we're going to do every other guide mark. Right below, like that. Oh. That one's a little... This is where you can get, if your design is off a little bit, this is one of the first places you can get it back in to sync by using those guide marks. Did I miss? No. Must be a lot of painters and mesmerized people out there. Nobody's really saying a whole lot. All right, let's use purple because we really haven't done that or used that much. And then we're going to, let me see, that's too big. I'm going to use the small end of the white and we're going to do a dot and then our swoosh. No, we're not going to bed yet. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, just the everybody went quiet. That's okay. I know people are painting. That's fine. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I didn't get a puzzle piece, so I was thinking maybe I got a puzzle piece, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm disconnected. Painting and then, not even really painting with anybody. Okay, so swooshes take some time and patience. What you're going to do is you're going to get a drop of paint. You're going to put it on your piece, and you're going to push it around slowly, because if you do it too fast, well, you can do it both ways. If you want a thinner swoosh, you might want to go faster. So I'll show you. So let's do that one. And then you don't want it so big. So you're going to go faster. Okay. And again, if you end up with your swooshes getting too big, you might need to clean off your tool. Like now that I have the fan on, like the paint will dry on my tool as I'm going around. So I'm going to wipe it off. No, that one is a little wonky. Yeah, nobody will notice it. You just keep painting. What happened was, and that's how easy you can change a swoosh too. This one was hugging, and then that one was a little up. Sometimes you'll want a different look, but that's how easy it is to change what you're doing. This color palette, this design, you do this in a different color palette, it'll look totally different. I love that about this form of painting, is that it's so versatile. I'm just going to tell you, you ever try to recreate the exact same painting in a mandala, I guarantee you something is going to be different. Yes, small end. Yep. No need to be sorry. No need. For me, though, gosh, I don't know what size that is for you. It just needs to be smaller. Like I was going to use the large end of the white. It's just too big. So I'm using the smaller end. Like I said, I'm looking forward to getting that new set of tools so that I can mark these and we can all know what size tool everybody is using. Who knew? Who knew? Ah! Well, I'm gonna have to go with it. It's too much paint there, but I have to fix it. Let's see if I can. There we go. It's fine. Everything's fine. Pretty colors. We'll have to find an alternate blue. We like that aquamarine. I'm going to have to look on my sheets and find out which one is close to that won't disappear when we're using it. I guess I'm going to throw some gold on here. I think I'm going to use the same size tool. Let me give it a shot first before you guys do it. So this is the small end of the white, and now I'm going to do our diamond shape. Let me see. Yeah, I would stick with the small, depending on how much space you have. If you have a little more space than I do, you could use the large end. But what I'm looking at is how this will end up, filling in there. What the heck just happened there? Hang on a minute. I gotta look at that. I feel like that paint got stuck in a ridge. Ended up giving it a weird look. So, coming up about halfway. Doing our triangle. Yeah, this one is very wood grainy. That's what's happening. No, I need a little more paint. There we go. Pushing that paint around. So yeah, so you could, depending on how big your swooshes are, you could actually probably do the large end of the white. Depends on, like, if you want those. I think what I'll probably do is a swoosh somewhere, a small one. After all is said and done. I just realized because oh, that's right. So did I tell you guys the other day I bought, TikTok made me buy it. I didn't realize it, but it's I think I told you guys. It's a girl who came up with this idea for like make your own Dubai chocolate bar. I don't know if that's exactly how she started, but anyways, they have these drizzles, and I think I did tell you guys that. I had bought some flavored coffee that was supposed to be Dubai chocolate. It is not. Don't buy it. Just telling you. Anyways, it's really good on ice cream. Is what I'm getting at. But it's called Chalkbox. So I did end up, after trying that, I did end up buying the kit to make a candy bar. So I'm excited about that. Should be fun. But it comes with like the mold and the filling and the wafers to make, melt for the chocolate. And I'm going to have my granddaughter Sunday. Yeah, I'm picking her up Sunday. And she used to spend the night with me a lot. She's 18 now. I ain't cool anymore. But I think that would be kind of fun to make with her. Oh my goodness. They're wonky. They're wonky. Let me see what's happening here. I think I'm coming up too high on the one. My eyeballs. But anyways, Hi Lisa, how are you? Welcome. What's the one thing that you bought on this platform that you were like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, and all the little ads or whatever were right? I'm just curious. Because, everybody's trying to sell. I don't even know if I can say that word on this platform. But, I will say that I got these silicone utensils. I love them. Nobody's bought anything that they were like, oh, this is, or maybe you guys don't buy anything on this platform. I mean, I have to say, like, it's like sometimes I already know, I know the other platform that we all go to. And that sometimes stuff is questionable too. But lately, I mean, I've been happy with the stuff I've got from the jungle. I mean, it in some cases it was better than I expected it was going to be, especially like my ornaments. What is going on that one? Maybe it's just my eyes. I don't know. The ornaments I thought were really, really nice. I know they're just plastic, but it is pretty. You don't. Oh, you don't. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I say, I mean, I just, I did get a car mount. That for me was a game changer. Um, but I was really disappointed in the coffee, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, and yeah, so like that's a That is one cool feature that, you know, the sample. I have gotten some cool samples. Oh, you did get one of them? Okay. Are they all the hype, Jessica? Because like that's one of the things, like I love a good hoodie. Especially, you know, when it gets kind of awful for us. It's 10:16. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know. What else did I get? Like I said, that drizzle stuff is like, oh my gosh. I know she didn't like start on this platform, so, but it's really good. So stay tuned about the make your own chocolate bar. Excited about that. What else have I? That car mount was nice. It was all the hype for the cost. I felt like that was. Oh. So is that the one that like start? You have 4, Jessica. Ah, okay. Is that the one that like starts white and then it matches your like skin tone? Rebecca, hi. And you know what? We got maybe a few more minutes. Rebecca, do you want have you been watching the recorded ones? Let me get out the stone. This is what we were working on. I'd get it if I could. Oh, here it is. So this is what we did. It still needs work, but things were taking forever to dry. So I guess we should do the last and final row. What color? I guess we really haven't used, we haven't used the green. So let's finish it up with some green. Really? I did add that. Well, I just making sure that you have access to them. But if you don't know how to find them, I mean, you can find them in my BIO. But yes, I did add that to my showcase because I think after reading up on a lot of that, I think that would be very beneficial for me to. I don't have a uterus anymore, but still, if that still works for inflammation, I think that is. I know you guys probably can't see, but I'm gonna walking dots. Can you see the blue dots? They're kind of hard to see now. Yeah, it's a peacock color palette. That was Tasha's idea. So we'll probably finish painting the 6-inch round tomorrow. It was going to be a 4-inch, but I went and said, you know what? It's going to be a pretty color palette, so we're going to do a 6-inch round. You just came in when I was asking, like, if anybody has ever bought anything from this platform that they absolutely love. I was telling them about some stuff I got from Chalkbox and stuff like that. But yeah, that, you know what else I have found that it's actually from here? 2 things. the hemps magnesium spray. Oh my God, that, now I've used a lot of magnesium and a lot of magnesium sprays, and when I tell you that stuff works so good. So that has been one, that was a sample I got. And the Vimergy brand lemon balm, I guess it's an elixir, is really good. It works really well. So yeah, I try, even though I am a, nurse practitioner student and learning about all the medications and stuff like that, like I said, I've been blessed to have worked and been precepted by a couple people that really have done their research on, and I don't know if the word alternative is the correct word, but natural would be probably a better word, as opposed to like turning towards, pharmaceutical. Now, sometimes they, you have no choice, and they know that, so they don't get crazy with it, but. Okay, Jessica. All right. Sleep good. I knew you would. It's 10:30. You've been up a long time. Okay, so I think I have this is a problem with this rock. I have nowhere to touch. I think I'm going to finish the edge. I have a little bit of an edge, but I think I'm going to finish that tomorrow because I just touched over here. So that is it for that. What time do we got? 10:23? Yeah, it is. And it's so interesting because each magnesium salt does something different. People don't realize that. They just think it's, all one, and it's not. All right, let's all right, I'm gonna do the blue, the peacock teal. I think the same side, the small end of the white. And I'm just going to do a swoosh. I don't want to go all the way down because I don't know if I can get down all the way. Oh, maybe I can. I do have space, it looks like. Let me grab another tool for a second, now that I paused. Okay. Okay. Do you, Elizabeth, work a schedule where you got stuff going on usually during the lifetime? Is that what happens? I know, like Jessica, who just got off, she only is off on Thursday nights, and she's been up since last night. Crazy girl. That's why, there are some lives that I want to get on during the day, but like this week I am with a patient, or I'll get their notification and then something happens, and then I end up not getting on the live. And now with the next semester starting for me, you guys will probably see me, but I need to get off that app during the day anyways. I have been studying, even though I'm not in a class. Like practice certification questions and stuff like that. Because I really want to just take this thing and be done. I don't want to, I'm starting to understand, like when people say, I just want to take it and be done. There we go. Pretty, pretty. Well, welcome everybody. I'm glad you showed up, got here, spent time with us. I am about to sign off. I am live Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern until about this time. It just kind of depends. And I think in closing, I am going to... No, not that big. We'll use the large end of the blue. No, maybe not. Let me just stick with the same tool. The small end of the white. And I'm just going to do some walking dots right here. Just to give it a little bit of, and this is that iced blue. A little bit of a flare in there. So we'll finish this up tomorrow. Oh, that one should have come out a little bit more, but it's okay. I swear there's so much going on in a mandala by the time it's all done. Any little mistake, I mean, you're going to know it's there, but most people are not going to find that unless you point it out. Then they'll be like, oh yeah, I see it now. But actually, well, I mean, a lot of it takes time, but I don't know. I mean, I am not perfect at all, for real. But I think a lot of it becomes muscle memory. And the only way you get muscle memory is by doing the same thing a lot. Now, I will say I hadn't been painting since like December, which is that large piece that, oh, I worked on that yesterday in the middle of the day. So you probably didn't see that, but up until starting this live, I hadn't painted in months, and even now, like when I do certain sizes, and it's weird, like it's almost like you don't have to relearn it, but it takes a while, and that's why I love that black paper, because using that, I can practice on that. Really helps. It helps me. We completed. Thank you for the heart, me. Hi, Dawn. How are you? You're just doing a drive-by, Dawn. You're coming in on the tail end, aren't you? You just missed us. Well, I'm good. I'm good. This is what we worked on. Let me see. I put my light behind me to see if maybe that helps with our situation. You've been in the fan club for a month. Thank you. Yes, they are pretty, right? I think so. So I ended up turning on my fan because things were not drying and I couldn't figure out why. I think it was just really humid. So now that I have the fan on, things dried up pretty good. So it needs some top dots. It needs some love, but it just wasn't drying fast enough. And then we started this one. So I do love that iced blue metallic. Let me see. Trying to get it so you guys can see it. Pretty. Yeah. The blue was a little, like, we had to add some stuff to it to get it to even show up. It is. Thank you for the rose, Art Deco. Love that name. So it kind of disappears, that the dark blue, but I do love that metallic. Okay, I'm gonna head off to bed. Like I said, I took that nap today. I hope that doesn't screw me up the rest of the night. I will get this uploaded to our little place and then you guys can see it. Thank you, Rebecca. You sleep good too. Yes, Judy, thank you. And yeah, I'll get this uploaded like I normally do by tomorrow. And I'll see you all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day, guys.